quite a learning process, and of course I'm also getting tempted to enter into a debate with Professor Gupta, but we'll do it offline later. Actually, the way I'm different is that I'm not from the education side. So, but I'll talk about the various e-education projects and some of the experience we have. Most of the time, Mr. Raju, Professor Kishore, they have talked about what can be done, and I'll just talk about what we have done. And here, why do we have e-education projects? Of course, I fully share the concerns expressed by Professor Gupta, but the challenges we face and the solutions we need, we have, e-education is not, I would say, a luxury for us. It may be for the developed nations, but for us, probably there is no other way out. Considering the size of the population, we are 1.2 billion people. And, we know what is happening when it comes to higher education. Ridiculous cutoffs, like 100% cutoff for Delhi University. Does it mean 99.9% the person who has scored 99.9% marks, he's junk? Sorry. So, basically, it doesn't mean he's junk, but he becomes one. He's told that you're no good, you have not scored 100%. Simply because we have failed in providing the necessary infrastructure. And we have failed in providing the infrastructure not because nobody wants to do it. It needs resources, it needs a lot of money, and maybe as a developing nation, that is a big challenge. The size of the nation, another challenge. The fact that 70% of India lives in the rural areas is another challenge. Then, there is a big problem when it comes to the quality of teachers. Well, let me clarify, I'm also the son of a teacher. But the challenge is that when you don't have sufficient incentives for the teachers, it's a big problem having good quality teachers. That's not always the first choice of a majority of the people. Yes, there are people who are dedicated, they would like to teach at any cost. Such people are very rare, and I salute them. But generally, it comes as a last option, because when people don't find any other choice. Now, the objective of technology is to overcome these challenges. Now, Government of India has taken some initiatives. One is, of course, the National Knowledge Mission, providing a wide broadband to all the educational institutions, and the objective being that the information can be shared. If there is a professor in a university who's really brilliant, it's not necessary that only a handful of people who are under his tutelage are able to benefit from it. No. Wrong. Why not the whole country? Why not the whole world? That's the objective of having this national broadband network for the National Knowledge Mission. Similarly, to ensure that this particular information does not remain restricted only to the urban areas, the government has come up with another mission, that is National Optical Fiber Network, which connects 250,000 villages with panchayats in India to the main network. So anybody in those villages, they want to see what the professor discussed somewhere or see his presentations, as Professor Gupta was mentioning. Even a villager has right to have a look at it. Maybe you get an Arjun from there. I mean, who knows? In the normal course, he'll never have an opportunity of going to IIT, but maybe this is one way he can benefit out of all this information. National Skill Development Corporation. This is another initiative of the government, wherein not only the people who are involved in the regular education system, regular students, even people who are not so lucky as we are, they also get benefited, and the society in turn benefits from there. A simple example, for example, you have a car mechanic. It's logical that he would invariably, given the economic conditions, put his son. His son also becomes a car mechanic at the age of 11, 12. That's happening in India. And by the time he's 18, he's an expert car mechanic. But then, is that the end of it? No. Suppose he is able to move horizontally. He is able to learn English, learn languages, after that do his certification level course in car mechanic job, then do a diploma, and if he's brilliant enough, maybe he can do a degree, why not? And since at such a young age, he has imbibed quite a good amount of knowledge, he might do a research and come up with something unique, and India is known for it. I agree with Professor Gupta that there may not be many sort of patented products from India, but India is a country of jugaads, as they say it. There are so many people who come with small innovations, and there are many people who take advantage of it. I mean, it's not that, and these jugaads come from there, from these people who don't have any formal education as well. So we need not be diffident about it. It's going to benefit. And this National Skill Development Corporation, which I mentioned, it can be successful only if there is e-education. You can't expect the mechanic in his teens to leave his job and then go to a town and start learning something. Not possible. Another initiative which was mentioned is about Akash. Yes, that also is a big enabler once it's successful. Of course, this National Optical Fiber Network project, as TCL, we are also proud to be associated with it. We are the project managers for this project. And one of the main objectives is e-education here. That's where the government is looking at. Some of the e-education networks that TCL has worked on are the Pan-African e-network and other networks, including the University of Madras network, which I'll just elaborate a bit just to see how it has benefited people. Now, I'll also talk first about Pan-African e-network project, which has been a flagship project of education. I'll just an initiative of Government of India and the African Union. And it's, I'll call it not an international, intercontinental virtual university. It was conceived by Dr. Kalam, and he offered this particular network to 53 nations of Africa. It was accepted, and the Ministry of External Affairs was the nodal ministry for it. And we were lucky at TCL to get this job because of our past experience in Africa. So it has three components broadly: teleeducation, telemedicine, and VVIP connectivity. And teleeducation is a major component of it. About 48 countries are a part of this particular network. It's just briefly mentioned that, on the left-hand side, you have the Indian component, right-hand side, the African component, and you'll see that some of the leading universities of India are a part of this network, and there is a capacity building process also. 48 countries, students from 48 countries are receiving education on this particular network, and there is a process of capacity building within Africa for the teachers as well, because 5 leading universities of Africa, they are a part of it, including universities from Egypt, and Mauritius and other places, who are finally going to be performing the same role as what the Indian universities are doing today after July 2014. These are some of the leading universities who are a part of it, including from Uganda, Ghana, Cameroon, Egypt, Malawi. As implementing agencies, it's a complete turnkey solution we are supposed to provide right from design to completion, including providing the education services. And it had a lot of major components, including the hub station building, which we constructed in Dakar, Senegal, and also supply of a lot of equipment, including the medical equipment, and also for education purposes. The objective was capacity building for 10,000 African students over a 5-year period, and of course 2,000 in PG. But the things turned the other way around. I'll come to that also. And something about telemedicine. But one of the most important things was continued medical education. Medical education has been a major contributor to this particular network, where the experts from India, they have been able to get across their views on different subjects. You know, this is till September, about 9,780 students are already registered on the network from 39 countries, undergoing various courses like MBA, MSc IT from Madras University, and so on. And about 3,492 tele-education sessions have already happened. And I mean, it's a great success. We still have 2 years' time, and we expect this target of 10,000 to be exceeded. The only difference is that there has been more demand for the postgraduate programs. Now, this online, some of the glimpses of this particular network, we started from scratch, and this is how the various components of this have been built. And virtual classrooms. And Dr. Kalam here delivering a special lecture from the studio. This lecture was attended by 1,800 people all over Africa. About 85 questions were put to him, and he answered all of them. And, you know, when things, more questions poured in, he promised to reply every question on email. So one more project I would like to talk about is the University of Madras project. Now, those of you who are familiar with the the Chennai and the University of Madras over there, you know, it's a small campus on the Marina Beach. Now, if we go by the normal logic, there'll be limited students, obviously, because it can't accommodate more. But they have come with an innovative solution. They have 10 centers within Chennai itself, where there are more students, and all linked to the central point on the Marina Beach campus, and virtual classrooms happening, face-to-face lectures happening, and questions being answered online. And if somebody has missed a lecture, you know, you can go offline and see what was discussed in the class. That applies to Pan-Africa e-network as well. You know, we are the people who designed this network for Madras University and did it, and we have carried forward this particular solution to other universities as well. There are both synchronous and asynchronous learning processes in this. I can't elaborate, there's limitation of time. And the other networks we have worked on is the SAARC network, wherein Bhutan, Nepal, Afghanistan, they are a part of this tele-education network. And we are also designing one network, already designed and now in the process of implementation of this ASEAN e-network for Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and Myanmar. And Pacific Small Islands and Eurasia, they are also in the anvil. Now, you know, this has really, you know, helped people in raising the bars Like when the SARC e-education happened, the doctors from Nepal said that we want a larger bandwidth so that we can see live operations happening. It has been a big learning process for them, seeing people, experts, performing live surgeries in SGPGI Lucknow. I mean, that is the potential in these e-networks. Yes, I agree. There might be some limitations. This National Medical College Network, this is again an attempt at the same, of sharing resources, sharing information, sharing knowledge. And this is one of the projects on Anvil, which Government of India already has there. And here also live surgeries, exchange of information will happen on this particular network. Thank you very much.